So someone always says that if we like remember all the topics, we just remember it and we repeat it. Is it okay for us to pass the exam to get a high score?
We must make balance. There's a balance because if you only remember topics, writing and reciting is a good way, not bad way. I can't say it's a bad way because these topics are in the exam. There are some topics in the exam, but if you just remember these topics, it doesn't help.
Yeah.
Why? You didn't make the balance.
Yeah.
So the examiner will ask you in part 1, you
Yeah.
are not able to speak. The examiner will ask you in part 2, you are perfect. The examiner will ask you in part 3, you are doing low job. It makes no sense to the
Yeah.
examiner. What I mean is, nobody can force you to do this or to do that. You can recite if you want, if you like that, if you feel you are great with this. But at the same time, you must make balance between part 2 topics and the part 3 and the part 1. So you must practice all of them.
You have to do all the good jobs so you can get a decent score.
Of course, if you practice part 2, whether you are reciting or just practicing whatever, it all depends on the students. And at the same time you are practicing part 3, at the same time you will make balance.
Yeah.
I want to say some students can do a good job when they recite, to be honest with you, and they can get a high score because they make balance. And some students write and recite topics at the same time they get a good job because they didn't make balance between part 2 and part 3. And some students have good language background. Their language is good. So when they come to me, I don't ask them to recite. I ask them to recite some keywords and practice by yourself more. That's enough. Some students have very poor level. Like, they are 5 or 5.5.
Yeah. Like me before.
Do I get 6.57 or something? Okay, so maybe in the beginning you have to write and recite. That doesn't mean you should write and recite all the time. Maybe after some time when your level is high, we can give up this. We can give up this method. We can change. We can find another method. It all depends on the student's level. It all depends on many things. But anyway, students must make balance between part 2 and part 3. Otherwise, it makes no sense.
So that's why you keep practicing me like the past 3. You ask me a lot of questions. You have to push me to speak like louder and speak quicker with like few more information, things
Yes.
like that. Yeah.
Because your English actually is fine. English is good, not bad. I mean, compared with the past,
Yeah.
you have much jump now.
So like 2 years ago when I first met you in your class, I'm afraid of answer a question because I always stuck in the middle and I even don't know what to say to extend my answer. I think it's a big problem. And with 2 years, I fixed a part of that. I still have to learn. So
and it's just a practice problem. It's just time.
Yeah. So I think we have to push our time and to take our energy, to take our patience on the project.
Yeah, and there is one more point I want to say. You should, everybody or anybody is going to study with a teacher. He must expect the teacher is only a guide.
Yeah.
A guide means what? Don't expect the teacher to open your mind and put English inside your mind.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Most of the focus, and this is actually the most modern way to learn English. Teacher is only giving you advice. You have a problem with 1, 2, 3, 4. Work on this. You should get the advice and work at home. And the class will be only evaluation and advice. I'm coming to have a class with a teacher to receive advice and at the same time to receive guidance, what I should do. The teacher will give you the guidance. You should do 1, 2, 3. Today is good, today is low. You should do 1, 2, 3. And then he has to begin to work on this at home. That means what? Your work at home is number 1. Your work with the teacher in the class is number 2 because you only go to the teacher to receive evaluation. Where I am now, I am high or low. Where I am and what kind of advice can you give me to support me to improve. But don't expect the teacher to put English inside your mind because many students, I want to improve my English. And when we give them the advice, they need more advice. Just work on the first point. We work on the problem. Students think vocabularies should be the biggest part, the most important part. If I have vocabularies, I can improve my English. No. With very simple vocabularies, you can speak English and you can be fine, you can be perfect. Maybe you have too many vocabularies, but you can speak English.
Yeah.
So what we need is to improve your ability to speak.
Yeah.
You only need to have guidance, receive guidance from teachers, and you have to work on the problem by yourself at home.
Yeah, so some people are always focused on if I have to change our accent, like we have to fluency like American or speak like English.
Oh, yes.
So
yes.
do you think it's important or it's like necessary for us to, if we want to get a higher score? Or
okay, I understand you. Accent is actually something very important. Everybody has accent.
Yeah.
Even me. Everybody has accent. Obama has accent.
Yeah.
And I remember also George W. Bush has accent.
Yeah, it's hard to understand him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Many people have accent, to be honest. But we only want to be clear. We want to have good accent. How to have a good accent? This is a question. Of course, accent is important, and it can help you to get high score, and it can actually relax your teacher. If you have good accent, your teacher will focus on other points, other problems. But if you have a bad accent, of course, the teacher will always keep correcting you. So maybe he will ignore other important points. So you can relax yourself and relax your teacher. How to improve accent? That's a question many people ask. I want to say, of course, if you have classes for accent, is good. But at the same time, number one, to improve your accent, you must listen. At the same time you are listening, you must imitate. You know, imitate mufa in Chinese, right?
Yeah.
Mufa.
Yeah.
So you are listening,
Yeah.
don't repeat.
Yeah.
And then, not repeat. We have a huge difference between imitation and repetition. I mean, you have to imitate, not repeat. So, for example, you are listening to a dialogue now. Hey, hello, how are you? You must imitate. Hey, hello, how are you? Not hello, how are you? See? Why? Because as you are imitating, you will get closer
Yeah.
and closer to the native speaker. Whether he is English, like British, or American. Of course, the American accent is easier.
Yeah.
So I support people, or suggest people to work on the American accent more. But there's no problem if you work on the British accent. Of course, it's great. English is from England, actually. Anyway, that's not our point. So, imitation. I want to give you an example. For example, I want to be like Yao Ming.
Yeah.
You know Yao Ming?
Yeah, I
the
know.
basketball
Yeah.
player.
Yeah.
I want to be like Yao Ming. So what should I do? I'm going to have to look at him to see what he's doing, how he runs, how he throws the ball, his haircut. I'm going to have the same style, the same body, the same clothes. I'll keep imitating him day after day. Maybe after 1 week, after 2 months, after 1 year.
Yeah, you seems like him. Yeah.
Oh my God, man, you look like Yao Ming.
Yeah.
This is the point I want to
Yeah.
say. You have to imitate.
And what I focus on is that I have communicated with some Indian guys.
Oh yeah.
Their pronunciation is so poor and so disaster. But in my mind, the Westerners and the foreign people, they can understand what they are talking about, but they can like clearly listening to us. I don't know why.
You mean they can't understand you?
Yes, but they can understand the Indian people.
Oh, they can't understand each other, but they can't understand you.
Yeah. I think the reason is that even though their pronunciation is weird, but their grammar is good and their vocabulary is fancy, and they can speak in the Western logic. I think that's why, even though their pronunciation is or the accent is a little
Probably
weird.
they didn't study pronunciation. Maybe they didn't work on this in the school. And also, I want to say, different dialects or different languages will have a huge influence.
Yeah.
Like some people are speaking different languages, and based on their language, they will have a problem with some letters.
Yeah.
Some letters, like some people don't know how to pronounce R sound. Some people don't know how to pronounce sa sound. Sa. I also have the same problem with the Chinese students. They say I think, not I think.
Yeah.
And so on. I mean, we have many problems. They say I asked, not asked. I asked, like this. I mean, we have many examples. We have many situations. So different languages will influence the people to speak the language, the other language, the English language, I mean. He is from India. He will have a problem with some sounds. He is from China, so he will have also some problems with some sounds based on his mother tongue.
Yeah.
His mother tongue will control him.
Yeah.
Will just have will impact his sound.
Yeah. But the English skills is good, I think. At least better than Chinese people. Most of the Chinese people.
They have good fluency.
Yeah. So
I don't talk about Indian or Paki or I mean different. Of course, that's not a problem because they have good English, of course, and we are not criticizing them.
Yeah.
I'm just showing something. Yeah, they have good fluency. They have good English.
Yeah. So I think this is very important in the using English. And it's also there are some people around me. They always ask me that you are like my English is so poor. I can get only like a 3 in IELTS or 4. can they
You
improve?
now, or you mean you?
No, my friends.
Oh, yeah,
They
yeah.
always like want to immigrate or apply for the school, but their score is like more lower than 4. So how can they approve or improve their English, or can they improve their
Oh,
their
I
English?
have a good idea about this. Yes,
Yeah.
this is a good question. I want to say for those people who have very poor English level, because when they go to schools or training centers or language schools, these language schools will give them other materials, and they will tell them these are basics. You must learn these basics first.
Yeah.
This is not correct. This is absolutely wrong. I want to say, even you have a poor English level, you should begin to work on IELTS. IELTS has many levels. You can begin with book number 1, Cambridge 1. You can begin from the beginning. If you begin from the beginning, you can reach. But if you begin to work on other way, on other materials, other books, it doesn't work. You're wasting time. So even your level is 3 or 2 or 4, whatever it is, you have to still work on IELTS, but begin with the basics, begin with level, the first level. But don't worry, you can reach. For example, now I'm here. I want to go to the train station. It is too far from me. Should I go to the train station from this way or that way? It is actually from this way, right?
You are
so
going
I must go from this
the
way.
right way, and you are going one step by one step.
Yes.
Yeah.
The problem is in the language schools, they take them to that way and they say, don't worry.
It's easier.
Yeah, it's easier and this will help you. No, this is actually not correct.
It will waste a lot of time.
Waste a lot of time, effort, money, and. I want to say, you have to decide where your destination is. My destination is IELTS. I want to get a high score in IELTS. Please work on IELTS, not other things.
Okay. So if someone who is only like ability at around IELTS 3, if they want to learn with you, can you teach them? Is there hard for them to understand you?
I'll give you an example now. Now I'm talking fast. I'm speaking fast. I mean,
because I'm speaking well.
Yeah. I mean, of course, different people will have different levels. So this is just a video, and I'm talking to you. You can understand me. I'm speaking fast. When I'm talking to other people with low level, I'm teaching kids. Hello, how are you? So everything's fine. Like, okay, everybody will have different level. I want to give example. I had one student from Beijing. I remember her. She's actually a journalist. I remember her. I remember her. And that student came to me, and her level was 2.5.
Okay.
I really remember 2.5. I say she's from Beijing and she's a journalist. And if she watches this video, I'm sure she will know. She came to me and she spent with me almost like, honestly speaking, she spent with me some time, like maybe 9 months, 10 months. She got 7.
7?
7.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's not because of me.
Yeah.
I'm only a guide. I give her guidance. Your problem is 1, 2, 3. We have to work on this. I gave her materials, homework, tasks, and she began to work.
And she's working hard by herself, right?
Her homework. She is working at home. I gave her the tips, advice, and she's working hard at home. The result is different, of course. Actually, she got 7 twice, but not from the first time. I mean, of course, we had a plan, but finally she got 7.
She get what she wants.
Of course.
Yeah. So you can accept all kinds of candidates and all kinds of level. They can, if they want to learn English, especially speaking, they can follow your guide and they can learn and get their target score.
Since he is able to learn, since he has the desire to work and to learn, there's no problem, of course.
Okay.
He can improve.
Okay.
The most important thing is the desire. I mean, he must be hungry to learn English.
Okay.
Not, okay, I want to improve my English, and when we give him the task, he doesn't work. So what is the result? Of course, the result will be meaningless.
Okay. So, so the last question is: you can not only teach speaking part, you can also teaching the writing part, right? Because it's hard for the candidates who want to get a decent score about the IELTS.
Honestly speaking, about this point, I used to be an examiner for speaking and for IELTS task 2.
Okay.
So for any student has a problem with task 2 writing, of course I can help him with this. no problem.
Okay.
With the speaking part also, I can help him with this, no problem.
Okay. So I think that's why I insist learning with you. I think you give me a lot of advice and you improve my English so well, even though I have a long way to go because I want to be more advanced and I want to be fluent.
But
more.
you are improving.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. So guys, if you want to learn English, I can share you some information about this amazing people, amazing man Adam. And if you want to learn from him, you want to improve your English, you can contact me. You can leave a comment or you can connect me with the WeChat. Okay, so see you next time. Bye.
Bye.